All right, I'm not done yapping yet. I'm gonna yap a little more about eccentric overload. I'm gonna just talk about why no one does eccentric overload. You know, first, what I think, this is what I believe why nobody does eccentric overload. I think one reason is because not enough knowledge, of course. You know, everybody knows that the eccentric portion is the stimulating part of the lift rather than concentric. People think concentric, like some people think concentric builds muscle. It doesn't. The concentric is to produce force. That's where you build your force. That's where the concentric is for force production. The eccentric is to resist force, but in the nature of the eccentric, you are disrupting the sarcomere and you're damaging it. You're damaging the muscle fibers, and that's when it stimulates growth. That's when the satellite cells activate and all that. So I don't know. I know people, of course, people know that the eccentric part is what builds muscle. Scientists know this. Like Israel know this. All the elite naturals you guys watch on YouTube, they know this. But do they truly understand it? Do they truly understand how to utilize the eccentric to the fullest? And I don't think they do. I don't think people truly know how to utilize the eccentric, and it shows because you look at everybody's training and they're all doing concentric eccentric training. I have a theory. I'm just trying something out this year. I'm just gonna do eccentric overload training the whole year. I just want to see what happens. Yeah, I just want to see what happens. Because in theory, if it's only the eccentric that stimulates growth and not the concentric, why are we even doing concentric in the first place? I know it's to produce force, but if your ultimate goal is to build muscle, I don't know why you would do the concentric portion. And then you might ask, like, okay, well, how is it that you're gonna do an exercise without the concentric? It's a part of the lift. That's where you get creative. And you're like, okay, what are some ways that I could only do the eccentric and overload it? Now, I post a lot of my shorts. I'm going to start posting some shorts on exercises I do for eccentric overload. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. You just got to be a little bit creative. Of course, it's best with a partner. That's when it's the best. So yeah, I'll be posting more videos about that on, you know, techniques, exercises you guys could do for eccentric overload. So that's the first reason. The first reason is basically not enough knowledge, or if it's not enough knowledge, it's not a full understanding of how powerful only doing eccentrics or eccentric overload training can be. That's the first reason. Another reason could be it's fucking brutal. It's brutal to do an eccentric overload workout. Like for chest, it feels like your chest is tearing, and you have to do weights that are supra maximal, 100 to 130% of your max. Trust me, it doesn't feel like anything else. It doesn't, you know, benching feels good. When you're benching, you have like 80% of your max on the bar. You're doing that for about 5 reps. That feels good. You feel strong. It feels like a good pump. But when it's like 120% of your max, so say if your max is 315, I don't know what 120% is. Let's say you have 335 on the bar. That shit, it feels like your chest is tearing. It feels like your chest is gonna tear off the bone. It doesn't. But I think that's a reason why people don't do it, is because it's brutal. It fucking hurts. It feels like your muscles are tearing. For biceps, it feels like it's tearing and it's brutal. You get used to it though, but that's why I think people don't do it. It's fucking hard. It's not like any other training you're gonna do. Another reason is gonna be that, well, if you do eccentric overload training, you're getting significant muscle damage. You're only gonna be able to train a muscle once a week. So technically you only be, if you're used to going to the gym, let's say 3 to 5 times a week, you'd have to cut that down to like 1 to 2 times a week. 1 to 3 the most. And I don't think people, you know, they've already built a lifestyle of going to the gym multiple times a week. It's therapeutic. It feels good. It, you know, it's just, we all have that feeling we just want to go to the gym. And when you're used to it, if it's gonna feel weird getting out of routine and only going once or twice a week, you're gonna feel off. But there's ways around that. There's ways around that. What I do, I'll do strength training. I'll do my eccentric overload training twice a week. Upper body day, lower body day. Tuesdays, Thursdays. And then the rest of the days, say it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on the weekends, I'll just go to the gym just to walk. Do some active recovery. I'll walk, incline, burn some calories, just so I can still get that, you know, it obviously doesn't feel good as lifting weights. I fucking love lifting weights. It just feels so good. But, you know, it's the matter of still going to the gym. It's still getting that time to yourself. It's therapeutic. It feels good. It won't fully fulfill it like lifting weights, but at least you're still being active. You're still getting blood flow going. You're enhancing your recovery. That active recovery is going to help. So that's the reason. I think that's the reason why people don't do it as well. Another reason, let's see, people might be scared that they're going to injure themselves. Obviously, you're lifting ridiculous amount of weight. You're lifting a weight you can't handle concentrically. So that's gonna intimidate people, obviously. You know, if you're doing it with bench and you have partners, you're gonna feel like, fuck, this shit's gonna tear my chest. I'm gonna want to do that. But that's why it's important to build up. You know, I don't suggest anybody start doing it right away. As a beginner, hell no. As a beginner, you don't need to be doing eccentric overload. I mean, you're gonna build muscle anyways, just by doing standard training. I'm just talking about people that are intermediates or advanced, especially advanced. You hit a plateau, that's something you should look into, eccentric overload. So yeah, that's why, you know, you're scared to get injured. It's obvious. But guess why? You just use some common sense and you just build up to it. You don't just jump right into it like an idiot. You know, you have to build up to it. So, and then you don't do your whole workout eccentric overload. You don't go in and like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna switch my whole training, and instead of doing 3 sets of you know, regular eccentric training, I'm gonna do straight up three sets of eccentric training. No, that's retarded. What you want to do is you don't even, I won't even suggest 1 set of those 3 sets to be eccentric overload. That might even be a little bit too much. You kind of have to build up to it. I would do this. Your first 2 sets are normal sets. Then your last set, say you're on bench, your last set, say your rep range you're picking is from 6 to 8. Okay, say you get 6 reps on that last set. I would tell my partner, all right, just keep lifting it up, and I'm gonna control the eccentric, and I'll do that for another like 3 or 5 reps, just to build up those tendons. Because if you start right away, your tendons are not, you know, yeah, that's when you're gonna have the increased risk of injury. So that's how I would just, it's a gradual progression. So I would think, yeah, progressive overload with your eccentric overload training. Just, you know, just gradually increase the intensity and the amount of overload you do. Don't just jump right into it. You know, just, it's gonna be slow. You have to, because you have to slow cook it, because your tendons are not gonna recover or grow as fast as your muscles. It's not. So just slowly do it, and then once you do it, then that's when you could go balls in on it. So then that's what I'm doing this year. This year is gonna be mainly focused eccentric overload, every single muscle, every exercise, every set. I just want to see what happens. I'm gonna document it and show you guys. But yeah, that's those are reasons why I think nobody does eccentric overload. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.